Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 2 in the NFL right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. He's going to cover a couple of NFL games. So, Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, now, Joe Duffy, you do a ton of games with us. Overall, your record has been very good, taking any game that I ask you to take. It's been close to 55% long term. Tell people though what's really important which is the premium picks at your site.
Yeah, and not only that, you were very kind and accurate enough to mention that the games that I give are sometimes games that you ask me to do because nobody else wants. But maybe even more importantly than that is we record a lot of this stuff earlier in the week for obvious reasons to get more exposure. By the time I make most of my final picks, I'm getting more information in. But yeah, this is my 27th year in the business full time. Yes, we are ahead in the regular season, college and pro combined, off of a winning preseason. Joe Duffy's picks at OffshoreInsiders.com.
All right, well, let's see what your opinion is on Seattle, San Diego. Right now, San Diego's a 5 or 5.5 point home underdog, and the total is actually 44.5 market wide. That's down from 45, full half point. And, this is, I know it's just week 2. This is kind of an unfair scheduling edge they gave to Seattle here, right? Seattle's off a Thursday night game, San Diego off a Monday night game, and Seattle's already Seattle to begin with. So, maybe maybe scheduling stuff like that doesn't mean quite as much in week 2, but, even if they were just off of Sunday games, I'd still be leaning towards Seattle here, -5. Seattle's a much better team, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing. So I would take Seattle -5 here, and I'll also take a shot with the over 44.5, but that line has gone down, as I said. What's your take on these lines, Joe?
No, and of course I did wind up looking that up. It turns out there's not as big of an advantage to the much more rested team there, but when you do have a road favorite of 3.5 or more off of a win of 14 or more playing a team that's off a Monday night game, I was actually looking to see if there was anything to develop in the side. As it turns out, the total, it's going over 10-2. Now, again, it's a rare enough stance that I don't know if 10-2 is statistically overwhelming, although that database goes back to, I believe, 1978, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, the Thursday night football hasn't been around quite as long as far as a weekly thing. But Seattle, my pick here is going to be on the over. We mentioned before that Seattle has a more aggressive offense under their offense coordinator, Darrell Bevell. They have more speed at wide receiver. Phillip Rivers, what's the term we love to use about him? Predictably unpredictable. So the fact that he's coming off of a pretty disappointing effort means his history says he's going to come back with a tremendous effort. And yes, I realize Seattle looked quite impressive. I watched it myself, watched every play, I guess. Quite impressive on Thursday night football against a darn good offense in Green Bay. The truth is, Seattle, they're a little bit thin. They're nickelback Jeremy Lane and quarterback Thorold Simon. They might both be out of this game. And they had to take Marcus Burley and Josh Thomas, a couple guys off of the scrap heap in the secondary. We didn't see it so much in game 1, but I wouldn't abandon what a lot of the experts have said who study the game films, that they do still believe that Seattle could be most negatively affected by the enforcement of the 5-yard chuck rule, etc. So the game did go over. It wasn't quite as easy as I expected last Thursday, and which, by the way, was our first Wise Guy winner of the weekend, which we did have the over as our only premium play in that. But I do like the over here. As I said, Phillip Rivers, long history of bouncing back from bad games. And Seattle, I think, is going to continue to play a much more up-tempo offense.
Joe Duffy, complete agreement from me is what you're going to get here. And again, the total did go down, though, 44.5. You have any explanation for that?
Well, no. I mean, obviously, Seattle is still thought of as a defensive team, and they are. I'm not saying that they're not. But I think that the public, when they see this Seattle Seahawks, they're still going to think low-scoring games and defense first and foremost. So it's about perception, but again, that's fine, because in this day and age, in 2014, that's not a very high total.
44.5 on the over. I'm liking it as well. Thanks, Joe Duffy.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.